Florida is known around the world as a tropical paradise, endless sunshine, white sand beaches, vibrant nightlife, and a dream destination for millions. But behind the glittering surface lies a far more dangerous truth. Every year, thousands of lives are shattered on Florida's highways, where beauty masks deadly chaos. From Miami's high-speed madness on I-95 to the scenic but perilous stretches of the overseas highway in the Keys, Florida's roads are among the most treacherous in the United States. Drivers here face a perfect storm, aging infrastructure, unpredictable weather, tourists unfamiliar with local routes, and some of the most aggressive driving behavior in the country. Add to that distracted driving, construction zones, and a legal system that often fails crash victims. And the result is nothing short of a transportation crisis. Welcome to Florida's hidden nightmare, a place where the sunshine blinds you to the danger ahead, and every trip could be your last. This is World's Deadliest Roads. Florida, Peril in Paradise. Florida, the Sunshine State, evokes images of palm-fringed beaches, glittering cities, and tourist-packed amusement parks. But beneath the postcard perfect facade lies a dark and deadly reality. Florida's roads are among the most dangerous in the United States. Despite its reputation as a paradise, Florida has gained a notorious distinction in recent years, consistently ranking among the top states for fatal traffic accidents. With a complex mix of dense urban areas, sprawling suburbs, unpredictable weather patterns, and millions of tourists unfamiliar with local driving norms, Florida's roads have become a perilous labyrinth where a simple commute can turn tragic in an instant. One of the most infamous highways in the state is Interstate 95, a vital north-south artery that runs along the Atlantic coast, stretching from Miami all the way to the Georgia border. And 95 is not just a major transportation corridor, but a hotbed of accidents and fatalities. In Florida alone, this highway sees hundreds of accidents every year, many of them fatal. Its combination of high-speed traffic, frequent lane changes, and aggressive drivers has earned it a reputation as one of the deadliest stretches of road in the entire country. The section passing through Miami-Dade and Broward counties is particularly treacherous, with heavy congestion, erratic drivers, and sudden weather shifts contributing to a deadly cocktail of risks. It's not uncommon for accidents to trigger massive pileups, sometimes involving dozens of vehicles. Another road notorious for its danger is US Route 1, often called the overseas highway in the Florida Keys. While the drive along the scenic coastal route is visually stunning, it's also riddled with hazards. Connecting the Florida Keys to the mainland, Route 1 runs for over 100 miles across a series of bridges and causeways, with very little room for error. The narrow lanes, limited shoulders, and frequent head-on collisions make it particularly dangerous. Moreover, the road is often congested with tourists unfamiliar with its twists and turns. Further increasing the risk, emergency services face logistical challenges when accidents occur here, often needing helicopters to evacuate the injured due to the remote nature of the road. Florida's mix of old and new infrastructure is another factor contributing to its road dangers. Many cities like Tampa, Orlando, and Jacksonville were built during times when vehicle traffic was lighter and roads weren't designed to accommodate today's volume. Now, with population booms and surging tourism, the outdated infrastructure is buckling under the strain. This has led to hazardous intersections, confusing lane merges, and inconsistent signage, creating confusion for drivers and raising the likelihood of collisions. The state has seen an alarming increase in pedestrian and cyclist fatalities as well. Florida consistently ranks among the worst states for non-motorist deaths, with cities like Orlando and Tampa particularly dangerous for those not in vehicles. Weather is another unpredictable killer on Florida's roads. Known for its sudden thunderstorms, torrential rains, and occasional hurricanes, the state's weather can transform roads into deadly traps. Sudden downpours reduce visibility to near zero and create slick surfaces prone to hydroplaning. Flash floods can render entire highways impassable, stranding motorists or sweeping vehicles off the road. The combination of heavy rain, poor drainage systems, and fast-moving traffic is especially hazardous during the summer months. And then there's fog, particularly in central Florida's rural areas where thick morning mists make highways nearly invisible, contributing to multi-car pileups that sometimes claim numerous lives in a single incident. Distracted and impaired driving remain major problems in Florida, with an ever-increasing reliance on mobile phones. Many accidents are caused by drivers who are texting, making calls, or otherwise not paying attention to the road. Florida was one of the last states to implement a ban on texting while driving, and even today, enforcement remains a challenge. Alcohol and drug-impaired driving are also significant issues, particularly in nightlife, heavy cities like Miami, Tampa, and Orlando. The combination of poor decisions, impaired reflexes, and high speeds leads to countless avoidable tragedies every year. Florida's population is also demographically unique. A large number of elderly residents, many of whom continue to drive well into their 80s and 90s, increases the risks on the road. Slower reaction times, declining vision, and confusion over complex interchanges can turn routine driving into a life-threatening situation. Conversely, the state also sees a high number of young, inexperienced drivers, particularly in college towns like Gainesville and Tallahassee. This blend of age extremes creates a volatile environment where overconfidence and caution can clash violently. Tourism, the lifeblood of Florida's economy, is paradoxically another contributor to road fatalities. Each year, tens of millions of visitors descend on the state, many of them renting vehicles and attempting to navigate unfamiliar territory. From chaotic Orlando intersections near theme parks to the fast-paced traffic of downtown Miami, tourists often make unpredictable driving decisions, leading to sudden stops, missed exits, and dangerous lane changes. Rental cars are involved in a disproportionately high number of accidents, and areas with heavy tourist traffic see regular spikes in collisions. Construction zones also pose a significant threat. Florida's ongoing attempts to expand and improve its roads mean that many highways and intersections are under perpetual construction. Narrowed lanes, poorly marked detours, and confused drivers create fertile ground for accidents. Road workers themselves are often at risk, with several fatalities reported annually due to inattentive or speeding drivers. Nighttime construction adds another layer of danger, with low visibility and confusing lighting further complicating navigation. Among the most alarming trends in Florida is the rise in hit-and-run incidents. According to the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, thousands of hit-and-run crashes occur every year, many of them involving fatalities. Miami-Dade County alone sees hundreds annually. These crimes not only leave victims without immediate assistance but also complicate investigations and burden emergency services. The reasons behind hit-and-runs vary: fear of legal consequences, driving under the influence, or lack of insurance, but the human cost is immense. Intersections, often overlooked in discussions about dangerous roads, are a major problem in Florida. Intersections such as the one at Colonial Drive and Seymour and Boulevard in Orlando, or US 19 and Gulf to Be Boulevard in Clearwater, are frequent sites of collisions. These busy junctions suffer from poor design, heavy traffic, and frequent signal violations. Many accidents here result in serious injuries or fatalities, with pedestrians often the most vulnerable. Rural roads in Florida are no less dangerous. Despite their scenic allure, these less traveled roads are often poorly maintained, lack lighting, and have minimal signage. Alligators, deer, and even escaped livestock can unexpectedly appear on the road, leading to sudden swerving and crashes. Emergency response times in rural areas are longer, meaning that victims often suffer more severe outcomes simply because help doesn't arrive in time. Florida's unique legal and insurance frameworks also complicate the aftermath of road accidents. As a no-fault insurance state, Florida requires drivers to carry personal injury protection PIP, but the coverage often falls short in serious accidents. Victims are sometimes left with staggering medical bills and little legal recourse. The system has been criticized for fostering fraud, contributing to high insurance premiums, and failing to provide adequate support for crash survivors. Efforts to improve road safety in Florida are ongoing. State and local governments have launched public awareness campaigns focused on speeding, distracted driving, and seatbelt use. Engineering projects aim to redesign dangerous intersections and expand mass transit to reduce car dependency. However, progress is slow, and the state's rapid growth continues to outpace infrastructure improvements. Meanwhile, residents and visitors alike must contend with the daily hazards that make driving in Florida high-risk activity. Motorcycle accidents are another tragic chapter in Florida's road safety crisis. With its warm weather and long highways, Florida attracts motorcyclists year-round, and fortunately, it also ranks among the top states for motorcycle fatalities. Many riders go without helmets due to lax state laws and the high-speed nature of highways like I-75 and the Florida Turnpike make accidents particularly deadly. Inexperienced riders, combined with distracted drivers and poor road conditions, result in a lethal mix. In the midst of this chaos, one stark reality stands out: Florida's roads are not just conduits for transportation, but battlegrounds where thousands lose their lives or are seriously injured every year. The idyllic beaches and bright lights often distract from this grim truth, but for emergency responders, trauma surgeons, and bereaved families, the consequences are all too real. Whether it's a tourist rental car veering off course, a young motorcyclist navigating a congested highway, or an elderly driver misjudging a turn, each fatal crash is a reminder that paradise can harbor peril just beneath the surface. Improving Florida's road safety requires a multi-pronged approach: better infrastructure, stronger enforcement of traffic laws, improved driver education, and robust public awareness. Until then, drivers must remain vigilant, aware that the state's beautiful landscapes and vibrant cities are shadowed by one of the deadliest road networks in America. In the end, every journey on a Florida road is a gamble, a test of skill, awareness, and luck in a state where the sun shines bright, but danger rides shotgun. Florida's roads are a paradox set against the backdrop of paradise. They've become some of the deadliest pathways in America. Every crash, every fatal mistake, and every life lost tells a story of how beauty can deceive and how danger often hides in plain sight. From high-speed urban highways to narrow coastal routes, the state's roadways are unforgiving, especially to those who let their guard down. Despite ongoing efforts to improve safety, the toll continues to rise, leaving behind shattered families and silent memorials by the roadside. In a state that thrives on sunshine and smiles, it's easy to forget how quickly a drive can turn into a nightmare. So the next time you find yourself cruising through Florida's palm-lined streets, remember paradise can be deadly. Stay alert, drive safe, and never take the road for granted, because in Florida, the most beautiful routes often come with the highest price.